This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. If it weren't abundantly clear before that we need somebody with brains and intellectual ability, basic cognitive functioning as President of the United States, it certainly is now. We are months into a pandemic, and Donald Trump, because of his lack of understanding of basic science, basic statistical analysis, we are in a worse spot than we would be if we had a different president. Over 156,000 Americans are dead right now because Donald Trump's lack of action, Donald Trump's worrying about how he's perceived, Donald Trump worrying about how Republican states are doing and Republican regions of the country, and disregarding Democratic-run states. So Axios, Jonathan Swan, did an interview with Donald Trump that was just released a few hours ago in its entirety. And there are three moments from the interview that I want to talk about. The first, and first of all of these, every single one of them, are a case study in what a dummy Donald Trump is. How ridiculously ineffectual, what a feckless dunce he is. And how dangerous it is for him to be President of the United States. In this first one, the interview starts off after he rambles for minutes about the crowd that he drew in Oklahoma, the Tulsa rally, that he was advised not to hold. He's bragging that it wasn't 6,600 like people said. There were 12,000 people there, which is a weird thing to brag about when not only the governor of the state became infected with the coronavirus, Kimberly Guilfoyle, his son's girlfriend also, and of course, famously, Herman Cain contracted the disease from which he died at the Oklahoma rally that shouldn't have been held. And hadn't it been held, Herman Cain would still be with us. Donald Trump is causing people to die because of his ignorance and recalcitrance related to basic safety measures. So he rambles on, and then Jonathan Swan jumps in to press him.
But here's the question. I've covered you for a long time. I've gone to your rallies. I've talked to your people. They love you. They listen to you. They listen to every word you say. They hang on your every word. They don't listen to me or the media or Fauci. They think we're fake news. They want to get their advice from you. And so when they hear you say everything's under control, don't worry about wearing masks, I mean, these are people, many of them are older people,
What's
Mr.
your
President.
definition of control? Yeah, under the
It's giving them a false sense of
right
security.
now, I think it's under control. I'll tell you what.
How? 1,000 Americans are dying a day.
They are dying. That's true. And it is what it is.
And that right there, my friends, is Donald Trump's Benghazi moment. It is what it is. Yeah, 1,000 Americans are dying per day. 156,000 plus have died in a span of just a few months. It is what it is. It is what it is. That is a remarkable statement coming from the President of the United States of America, someone who is ostensibly in charge of keeping us safe. It is part of his oath to the Constitution, his oath to see that the laws are faithfully executed, to defend us from enemies, foreign and domestic. He wants to talk about being a wartime president, that this is like being a wartime president. Then why don't you act like one? This next clip, the question is, by what date? See, Donald Trump gets tested every single day. Anyone who comes before him, has an audience with the President of the United States, gets tested to make sure they're not infected. And it's an immediate test. There's like a 15 to a half hour time turnaround on getting the results of the test. That's how Louis Gohmert dummy congressman learned that he had it. He was going to see Donald Trump. They tested him. Oh, I have it. I've been walking around the Capitol like an idiot without a mask, infecting everyone around me. So the question is, when can regular Americans, when can they expect to have the same kind of testing capabilities that you have in the White House?
When can you commit, by what date, that every American will have access to the same day testing that you get here in the White House?
Well, we have great testing. We're doing, and
By
many
what
other
date?
people do. Let me explain the testing. We have tested more people than any other country, than all of Europe put together times 2. We have tested more people than anybody ever thought of. India has 1.4 billion people. They've done 11 million tests. We've done 55. It'll be close to 60 million tests. And, you know, there are those that say, you can test too much. You do know that.
Who says that?
Oh, just read the manuals, read the books.
Manuals?
Read the
What
books.
manuals?
Read the books.
What books?
What testing does
No, I'm
is
sorry,
it shows, wait a minute,
who
John,
said-
let me explain. What testing does, it shows cases. It shows where there may be cases. Other countries test, you know when they test? They test when somebody's sick. That's when they test. And I'm not saying they're right or wrong. Nobody's done it like we've done it. We've gotten absolutely no credit for it. But we've come up with so many different tests. The only thing that we have now is some people have to wait longer than we'd like them to.
It's a big problem.
We want point to point. We want to have a 5-minute to a 15-minute
Right.
test.
When do you think?
And like many others,
Every
and from
American.
what I understand, we're close to 50% where it's point-to-point test. We are making thousands of instruments, thousands of tests right now, tens of thousands that can be distributed to various parts of the country. But you have to understand, and we've even sent some of them to other countries where they had a big problem. Jonathan, almost 50%, in fact, I think the number might be over, is immediate testing. The other's tough. You take a test, you have to send it to a laboratory. Let's say that takes a day. Let's say
Right.
it's a day.
It's difficult.
You know, so it's 3 or 4 or
understand.
5 days. There's nothing you do about that.
But when do you think we'll have it for
I
everyone?
think that you
What
will
day?
have that relatively soon. I mean, again,
What does that mean?
you already have half.
Yeah.
I would much rather get back to you because I don't
Okay.
want to have you
That's
write
fine.
in 1 month.
That's
I
fine.
didn't make it. I missed it by
Yeah,
a
yeah,
day,
I
and
get
it's
it.
a headline.
And ultimately, he does not answer the question. Jonathan Swan did about as good a job as you can do to hold him to his feet to the fire there. Donald Trump saying that there are people who say you can test too much. Who says you can test too much? Read the manuals, read the books. What manuals? What books? You dummy. He doesn't name them because there are none. Manuals and books that say you can test too much. And then his obsession with getting credit for the amount of testing we're doing, which is an insufficient amount. Just because we are heads and shoulders above other nations in the number of tests that we're performing to determine whether citizens are sick or not, does not mean that you need a pat on the back. You tangerine titan. Do your job. Keep us safe. Instruct your mindless minions that they should wear a mask. Months into this, and you're finally tweeting about it being patriotic to wear a mask. Many people are saying it's patriotic to wear a mask. Feckless dunce. This next clip really illustrates just how dumb he is when he is completely flummoxed by basic line charts and bar graphs. Watch this.
The figure I look at is death. And death is going up now.
Okay,
And it's 1,000 a day.
If you look at death...
Yeah, it's going
let's
up
look.
again.
Let's look.
Daily death.
Take a look at some of these charts.
I'd love to.
We're going to look.
Let's look.
And if you look at death...
Yeah. It's started to go up
Here's
again.
one. Well, right here, the United States is lowest in numerous categories. We're lower than the world.
Lower than the
We're lower
world?
than
What does that mean?
Europe.
In
Look,
what?
look.
In what?
Take a look. Right here. Here's case death.
oh, you're doing death as a proportion of cases. I'm talking about death as a proportion of population. That's where the US is really bad.
Well,
much worse than South Korea, Germany, etc.
You can't do that. You have
Why
to go,
can't I do that?
You have to go by where, look, here is the United States. You have to go by the cases. The cases
Why
are
not
death.
as a proportion of
When
population?
we have somebody, what it says is when you have somebody that where there's a case, the people that live from those cases.
It's surely a relevant statistic to say if the US has X population and X percentage of death of that population versus South Korea.
You have to go by the cases.
Well, look at South Korea, for example. 51 million population, 300 deaths. It's like, it's crazy compared to...
You don't know that.
I do. It's on
you
the...
don't know that.
You think they're faking their statistics? South Korea?
I won't get into that because I have a very good relationship with the country. But you don't know that. And they have spikes. Look, here's
Germany, low,
here's
9,000.
Here's one right here, United States. You take the number of cases. Now look, we're last, meaning we're first.
Last? I don't know what we're first in. As a what?
Take a look. Again, it's cases. And we have cases... Because of the testing.
1,000 Americans are dying a day, but I understand on cases it's different.
No, but you're not reporting it correctly, Jonathan.
I think I am, but...
If you take a look at this other chart, look, this is our testing, I believe. This is the testing,
Yeah, we do more tests.
No, wait a minute. Well, don't we get credit for that? And because we do more tests, we have more cases. In other words, we test more, we have... Now take a look. The top one, that's a good thing, not a bad thing. But the top, Jonathan.
If hospital rates were going down and deaths were going down, I'd say terrific. You deserve to be praised for testing, but they're all going up.
You know, they very rarely talk...
60,000 Americans are in hospital.
If you watch the news
dying
or
a
read
day.
the papers, they usually talk about new cases, new cases, new cases.
I'm talking about death.
Well, you look at
going
death.
up.
Death is way down from where it was.
It's 1,000 a day. It was 2,500. It went down to 500. Now it's going up again.
Excuse me. Where it was is much higher than where it is right now.
It went down and it went up again.
But now it's going down again. It's going down in Arizona. It's going down in Florida.
Nationally,
it's going down in Texas. Take a look at this. These are the tests.
It's going down in Florida?
Yeah, it leveled out and it's going down. That's my report as of yesterday.
Anyway, Mr. President, if I could change subject.
It is going down in Arizona.
Arizona it is. Texas has big problems.
And it spiked and it's now going down in Florida. It's evened out and going down in Florida.
I'll have to see those figures.
But you have to look at this. This is the number of tests compared to the rest of the world.
I don't deny your figures. You've done more tests by far than the rest of the world. I don't deny that.
Because we've done more tests, we have more cases.
And that ultimately is the number we should be focusing on. That 1,000 Americans per day are dying from this. That the mitigation strategy should have been put in place months ago to lower that number. That 156,000 plus Americans are dead. It is what it is. He's not dead. Those he loves are not dead or sick. It is what it is. We have a choice in November. This public health crisis will not be over come Election Day. It will not be over come months after. We will have a new president, if things go well, in January. And we will still be dealing with this public health crisis. You need to take it upon yourself to get out there and vote. Get your neighbors, get your friends, your loved ones. Impress upon them the dire existential crisis that we are facing with Donald Trump in office. Joe Biden is certainly not the perfect candidate, but he is what we have. And he is no Donald Trump. I know that doesn't fire people up. That doesn't energize crowds. Vote for the guy who's not Donald Trump. But you need to vote for Joe Biden like your life depends upon it, because it does. I'd love to hear from you, 714-576-4054. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for engaging with my content as often as you do. I listen to every voicemail. I read every single email. They don't all get played on the air. Not enough do. I am dealing with getting back to my home studio. That'll be happening within the next couple weeks. And I look forward to doing more live content and more audience engagement. So the other thing, as I end my videos asking for your support, if you are in a position financially to do so, where you don't have to budget it in and worry about your finances, I know times are tough for many, many people right now. But if you are in a financial position and you would like to support my work here on YouTube, you can click the join button there below the video. Become a channel member. For fewer than $2 a month, you can help support independent journalism, independent commentary, independent analysis like mine. If I'm not your guy, there's somebody out there you get more value from. Support that person. Help them out. Thank you. Again, I'll see you next time. Be genuine, everybody. And take care of one another.